Pete Hegseth is summoning literally every leader of the U.S. military to one location, which is gravely dangerous, wasteful, and frankly puts people at danger. And as this is happening, a video has just come out of Pete Hegseth drunk, and he must be drunk the way he's acting. A general pointed out, Ben Hodges, former general, said, July 1935, German generals were called to a surprise assembly in Berlin and informed that their previous oath to the Weimar Constitution was void and that they would be required to swear a personal oath to the Fuhrer. Most generals took the new oath to keep their positions. I think that is an important piece of history. And I am afraid that's where this is all heading with Pete Hegseth's meeting next week. We have new information on that, by the way. And we have learned now that Donald Trump himself is getting involved. But when this general posted that, here is what our, quote, Secretary of War said. Cool story, General. No, not a cool story. It's literally history. And it may very well be repeating itself. As someone right here, for my followers, this is your Secretary of War mocking a general for providing a German military history. Someone else wrote, yes, cool story. Literally Nazi history that the Secretary of Defense is just nonchalantly hand-waving. The U.S. government is fascist. Yes, I agree with that statement. And who could forget, though, the person who wants to lecture our military and the warrior ethos did this.
With the axe. Who's going to win this battle with the lumberjacks? That's coming up next. I'm putting my money on Clayton.
Could have killed someone. Literally, this is one of the luckiest people alive. He could have been very, very badly injured. And I just want to show you this. I came across this. A captain is speaking out. A former captain is speaking out. Someone who served for 13 years in the U.S. Army. A veteran who served in Afghanistan said this to Pete Hegseth.
And this message is for all U.S. military service members, especially every general and admiral meeting with Pete Hegseth on Tuesday. I'm a 13-year U.S. Army veteran who served in Afghanistan and wrote war plans while stationed at U.S. Army Europe. This morning, Donald Trump directed Pete Hegseth to deploy the U.S. military to Portland, Oregon. This is the latest illegal attempt to normalize the use of the military in U.S. cities. He authorized the military to use, quote, full force. This is authoritarianism. This is fascism. The U.S. military is not a law enforcement force, and all federalized service members must abide by the Posse Comitatus Act. All members of the United States military must disobey illegal orders. I was just following orders is not a valid defense against war crimes. Grow a spine and stand up for your fellow Americans. Otherwise, you are complicit in this fascist takeover. We're running out of time.
Well, thank you, Captain Dylan Blaha, for saying that, and he is, I believe, running for Congress. Let's just look. Yes. He's running for Congress in Illinois 13. If you are a voter there, I suggest checking him out. He doesn't know I'm doing this. Now, as I said, there is this meeting happening, and it's a very serious thing to literally bring all of the military, all the leaders to one place. It's never been done before for good reason, because it's stupid. And there are questions about why they're doing that. But as we're working towards this, Pete Hegseth had a viral video where he's at a stadium doing what is called the gritty.
All right, when y'all score, I want to see the gritty. Want to see the gritty? Yeah, I want to see the gritty.
Let me just show you what the gritty is supposed to look like. Yeah, so that's the gritty. Definitely not what we just saw our Department of War did it. It's the same thing trying to throw the axe. Just total miss. Just so embarrassing. I'm just so embarrassed. The stupidest people, the most evil people running our country into the ground. Here is exactly what's happening. Here's what we know so far, and there is more reporting that's come out about this unprecedented meeting with hundreds of top military officers.
Hundreds of admirals and generals are leaving their posts from airfield, at sea, and at tactical headquarters around the world. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth summoning all U.S. general officers and admirals in command positions and senior enlisted leaders to a meeting at the U.S. Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. But even those told to attend the meeting do not know what prompted Hegseth's call and what will be discussed. The Pentagon saying only the Secretary of War will be addressing his senior military leaders early next week. President Trump was asked about the meeting, but perhaps misunderstanding the question or unaware of the Hegseth meeting, he seemed to think it was foreign generals who were coming to meet Hegseth.
Well, I know. I love it. I mean, I think it's great. Let him be friendly. Let him be friendly with the generals and admirals from all over the world. Why? Is there something? No, but is there something wrong with it?
Vice President Vance stepping in.
It's not particularly unusual that generals who report to the Secretary of War and then to the President of the United States are coming to speak with the Secretary of War.
But there has not been a meeting quite like this one, and it has created apprehension among senior officers. Last May, Hegseth ordering at least a 20% reduction in the number of four-star generals and admirals across the active duty force.
It's in keeping with President Trump's commitment to achieving peace through strength. We're going to shift resources from bloated headquarters elements to our warfighters.
The secretary has already fired at least 15 senior military officers, including General C.Q. Brown, the then chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti, also let go.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the only reason they chose Pete Hegseth was because he gave the order to shoot domestic protesters. This is not a drill. It's not a drill. Donald Trump just the other day tweeted that the military are allowed to use, quote, full force. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? But the right is not, I mean, this is a right-wing podcaster. He happens to be gay, Tim Dillon. But here's what he had to say about this meeting.
He's going to give them some talk about the core values of the whatever. What core values? Bombing these Venezuelans that we say are trafficking drugs, whether they are or not? We're just like lobbing bombs at Venezuelan fishermen. I mean, what core values?
Yeah. So this is, I just think what's fascinating about this is I don't think anyone really likes this idea, and yet they're doing it. But I think that is also par for the course for the Trump administration, where they have truly enacted things that no one likes. They are becoming more and more unpopular, and yet they're still going. That to me speaks to the fact that they don't really care about elections or about accountability. They just want to do what they're going to do. And they don't feel like they serve us. They feel like they're just there to serve themselves. That's how it kind of looks to me. And we are learning too that Donald Trump cannot not be the center of attention. And we're learning now that he's actually going to show up. We have confirmation from the White House that POTUS is now attending the speech on Tuesday. That was not before what was planned. But of course, he can't handle that other people are getting attention. Here he is. He's so orange. I'll never get over it. Why are we used to it? So orange. Here's more information about what's going to be discussed. This is a showcase for Hegseth to tell them get on board or potentially have your career shortened. That sounds similar to what we learned about earlier when it comes to history. The parents of Trump, who allegedly dodged the Vietnam War draft 5 times, will do little to quell those concerns, though the president signaled he's just popping in to tell the military that they're doing a good job. Quote, it's really just a very nice meeting talking about how well we're doing militarily, talking about being in great shape, talking about doing a lot of good things, he said. He lied to NBC. Quote, we have some great people coming in. It's not a spirit decor. We know their expression is spirit of... I don't want to pretend like I even want to talk like Trump. Hegseth plans to release a speech at the moment. It is unknown what Trump will do with his speech. I am sure it's going to be awful. All right, well... we will follow this. I do think that we will see what happens. My hope is that it's just not a big deal, that it's nothing. But history may prove otherwise. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.